Hi, my name is Shaniki, and basically, I'm going to talk this today. I'm just going to talk just for a little bit, and basically, this is about what happened in California, and prayers goes out to everyone that's out there. And right about now, there's plenty of people that's out there that want to help with California, but they can always use more people. And so make sure if you're a person who volunteering or like to contribute to helping, make sure you get in touch with the right organizations. And sometimes just make sure that I advise that if you're going to give anything new, especially to people who had just went through something very dramatic, as what I want to put it, like the very bad, as like what happened in California. Try to be considered, be mindful, and like just think of it as like, what if it was you? What if it was you? So if you have things that are presentable and won't wear and tear, feel free to donate to the individuals in California. But when the fire started, like there's all types of people trying to figure out what had happened. And so I think somebody intentionally did that, but I'm gonna leave that, like I said, when it comes to anything like to authorities. But what I was seeing from the media, they was trying to blame it on a certain type of minority group. Not saying that that minority group would do something like that, but just be mindful on, like, don't always think every time when it comes to a fire or arson or somebody robbing banks or something, you always just decide to blame it on an African American female or male, or either you blame it on the Mexicans. And so it seemed like every time when something goes wrong in any community, the first two people that you look at is the Black African American, or female or male, or you look at the Mexicans. Like everybody that's a minority group don't be sitting around thinking up like bad things to do. Like, but if you feel like you in that situation where you feel like you're about to do something that you ain't supposed to be doing, then yeah, you need to go seek help and try to talk to somebody and figure out what are your intentions of doing something like that, catching fire to a community that basically a lot of them that lived in that community been there for more than 20 to 60 years. And so for that to happen, that's somebody's home that they spent years and years trying to purchase and live in. It's already bad enough that the cost of living is high, and it's already bad enough that um, houses are very expensive now. So what I'm saying is, like, just try to, if you have a problem with people who, was able to save or able to get to wherever they need to get to in life, then try to look yourself in the mirror and figure out what you need to do with yourself to get you to where you need to get to. And if it sounds like racism in your certain situation, like if you're trying to get a car or a house or perhaps graduate from college, then yeah, you would need professional people to step in and kind of see what's going on in that area of why. a certain minority group or a certain group of people don't want you to work in certain jobs or go to school at certain schools or have a house or a car. It doesn't have nothing to do with a lot of people try to blame it on your ancestors, but you're your own individual. You're your own individual. Okay, whatever your ancestors did in the past, or like most of your ancestors might have been in some type of, group into helping people. And so, and a lot of people might not have like that. Like for example, if you was like Martin Luther King, making sure everybody can be able to dream. And so like if you was like a person in that family, I can understand you being like being aware of your surroundings and situations through your whole entire life, including with your family, because a lot of people that don't like certain minority groups don't want to see you shine because of the things that your mother or your father may have done through history. And so right about now, if you're experiencing that type of issue, then yeah, have somebody investigate that or see if you can get some professional people to look into what's going on. Because year by year, you can't be sitting in the same situation and not progress into, doing something with your life. And so, yeah, it's coming to a picture where there can be a lot of jealousy between minorities and between other people that's not a minority. But why are you jealous? Is it because that person just have a shine and ambition to push through and maneuver through what you may have had a hard time doing? Or is it because the color of their skin that you've been embedded in your mind all your life that you are supposed to be number one? And so when it comes to other individuals in different minority groups that don't look like you, then you become angry? Or is it because in every minority group, and especially in a certain race, that you feel like you should have a role model? Like everybody, it's okay if you have a role model or you look up to somebody in a different race, but to other people, it might not be okay. And so now there's another issue that's popping up in the picture is that right about now, a lot of African American males always, well, I'm not going to say all of them, but some of them, the majority of them lived in America. All right. And they experience a lot of stuff that maybe a lot of individuals have not experienced. So right now, the new upbringing, like let's say you're like let's say an African American female, she ended up having a male. Okay. And so let's say 19 years later, he turns 19, let's just say. And he never experienced anything with anyone who didn't like him of his color. And then let's say one day he goes to the store and he's driving a new car that his middle class family worked hard to get him. And let's just say it happened to be a BMW. And all of a sudden he gets pulled over by the cops. And they looking at him like, okay, you're young. How are you able to afford this BMW? And he happened to ask that question. And a young man, he's like, how are you going to ask me that question? Why did you pull me over? And he might have said, "Oh, you were speeding." And he says, "Well, I was not speeding." And then he was like, "Well, we're just doing a random check." And so, right then, in the young black man's mind, he's like, "Okay, I got pulled over because my parents purchased me a BMW, and it's in the same year, let's just say 2025." And then the police is pulling him over and harassing him because he's a young black man and a BMW, and it's in the same year, 2025. And so already, let's just say he goes home and tells his parents, and his parents are very surprised that happened, especially in a community where they work hard at to provide for, to have a house, to have cars that work. I ain't talking about go out buy a hoopty and then like 2 months later it breaks down. But they try to save their money so that they can buy cars that are brand new and that work and can get them to A and B, not knowing that. I mean, that's not. I mean, for it can like a brand new car can still break down, but sometimes it's better to get something new, that nobody used. So if it broke down, if it was you or somebody else, or either it might be one of them vehicles that might need to be a recall. So basically, right about now, so him and his mom and dad, they're all discussing about what's going on and everything. And so the next day when he went out, the son went out and he decided to go um, to go look into a college. And so the cops pull him over again. And he's like, "Sir, why you keep pulling me over? And I'm not doing nothing wrong." And then this cop, he said, "This is a pretty nice car you driving." And he's like, "Yeah, my parents bought this for me because I graduated from um, high school. And I'm on my way to go look at the college that I decided I wanted to go to." And so right then and there, it's like, why are you being targeted just because you have something nice? Or why are you being targeted because your parents worked their tail off to provide to make sure that make sure that their children supposed to have what they're supposed to have in life in order for them to progress? Why is it every time when you're a certain color, you're looked upon as shame that, oh, you can't have this, you can't have this, or oh, not you, and not you, and you worked hard to get it. So I would like people to take a day out of their time and look themselves in the mirror and see, just look yourself in the mirror and say, am I really racist? Do I really have a problem with people, or can you be a person who gets jealous because their upbringing is not the same as what you went through? Everybody has a story, okay? Everybody's upbringing isn't the same as everybody, but you don't have to use that, as a way of saying that, oh, I was poor or I was homeless and I didn't make it. And finally, these people came through and they helped me. And then all of a sudden, because I hear them in certain communities too, when I hear them when they say, "Oh, she reason why she got that house or she got that car is because the community just felt sorry for her, and she was just having a hard time all her life." And like the community, if they wanted to give that person, if that person was a hardworking person and the community wanted to help that person, then the community just wanted to help that person. But you always get this talk of, oh, she must have did this, or she must have did that, or she must have did this to get there and get there and on. And then a lot of individuals, especially black females, they didn't do nothing to get anywhere but wake up in the morning, take their tail to school, and then come home. And all of a sudden, when you making straight A's and you coming up or getting a job, it's always somebody that's thinking of, oh, she must have did this, or she must have did that, or she didn't do nothing. But wake up in the morning, do what she had to do in the morning, as far as, take a shower, get dressed, and, get something to eat as breakfast, and then take herself to school, and then after school, then come back. And so if anybody is awarded for, for the things that they do in school, don't always look at it as, oh, she must have did something, or he must have did something to get there. Like everybody doesn't do stuff to get wherever they need to get to. And so I just want people to be mindful of that. Don't think every time when somebody has a brand new car or has a brand new house coming in the picture that you think somebody went and did this and did that. Everybody doesn't do stuff to get material stuff. There's actually minority groups out there that actually work to get whatever they need to get in life. So don't assume that every minority group is out there prostituting, out there hoeing, or out there doing this and this to get a car or a house. There's some minority groups out there that actually go to college and get a degree. There's a lot of minority groups out there that actually wake up in the morning and work a 9 to 5. There's a lot of minority groups that graduated from high school and went into the military and served their country and didn't do nothing through the chain of command to get ahead. So do me a favor, change your way of thinking. Every time when something happened in this world, you don't have to blame the same two minority groups. And that's the Black African American, male or female, or the Mexicans. It seemed like the Mexican male or the Mexican female. It didn't seem like the same two people that like our media puts that out there to the point where if if somebody was to go and rob the federal bank, the first person they're gonna look at is all the minority groups, right? Don't always think that it's any of us, any of the minority groups. Sometimes the other color, you got to face the truth that it can be your race too. It can be your race too, especially the fire that started in California. The first thing they looked at was what a black person did it. But then, not too long ago, I'm not going to say this group, this hate group, say their name or anything, but it was a man. He used to deal with I'm going to go ahead and say it. He used to deal with the white supremacists. And he said he even came out forward and said that anytime that they do anything, they basically try to blame it on the minority groups, especially in California. So don't always look at it as like it's us or any of the minority groups. It can be the other one too. Until next time, this is Shaniki.